We're going to talk a little bit first about some of our recent work that we're working on.
What have I been doing lately?
God knows.
Just kind of, doing things, drawing stuff. I mean, I have so many things I need to be doing right now. It's kind of insane. I decided to give away a caricature for free, just to be a nice guy for once in my life. Working on that. Working on there's a new music app. I don't know if it's available yet or if it's gonna be available soon, called Rhythm, Rithim. I've been doing a lot of avatars and stickers and emojis and stuff for them. That's the majority of what I've been working on for the past month or so. Other than that, just kind of doing paintings for myself. Got a couple of other video game related avatar, stuff like that, things in the works.
It's so cool that you do all that stuff, man.
Keep it busy.
Yeah, I'm trying to, and then just doing that, and then just painting for myself. I'm actually not making any money on what I'm working on right now. It's actually for my godson.
I've never even heard of money.
Oh yeah, money is just it's a fictional. It doesn't exist in my world. But yeah, I'm just working on that right now, and then just trying to stay busy and keep it up with contracts and contacting people.
Do you have anything you can show off?
Nope.
I don't know if I can't. I don't want to show the rhythm stuff just in case.
Yeah. Some things you can't.
Yeah, like I don't know what if they've got that stuff cleared, because like they're working with these actual artists their record labels and stuff, and like I don't want to get in trouble with Nicki Minaj, because we're gonna get married one day.
Yeah,
but that's beside the point.
But congratulations.
Yeah, but I don't want to trip out, but I will show the gift I'm making for my godson.
Yeah, let's check that out.
Just something for fun for him.
It's not always about money sometimes, I think if you're in it to make art, good things are going to come your way and money's going to come your way. You don't,
God, I hope so.
If money is your number one focus, that's you're going to be consumed by that.
That's why I decided to give away a entire painting. Like, I'm not even doing a sketch. Like, I did this little thing on Facebook. That's where the majority of people get in contact with me. I asked him like a real simple question about myself, and whoever answered it, I was like, yo, you can get whatever you want. I'll paint anything you want, like within reason.
Yeah.
And a guy that he's actually been a big fan of mine for a while. He won it, and so I'm still talking to him right now, and we're gonna figure out what he wants to do. So he's gonna get a free, entirely custom painting from me, and I think I'm gonna do it maybe a couple of times a year, just kind of give back a little bit. Like, it's not always about trying to cash checks all the time. Most of the time. But every now and again, you kind of got to do something nice for the people, and I figured that's the least I can do. I just pulled up what I did for my guy. He's a big Hero 6 fan. So he asked me to
cool.
do something for him. I have it set up with him and my nephews and my other godchildren and stuff like that. We trade drawings. So if they do something for me, then I'm like obligated to do something for them. So he drew me a bunch of Ninja Turtles and stuff, and did some cool stuff for me in school. So I had to pay him back. So I've been working on this for just the past day or so, and I'm about done. And I'm probably gonna present that to him framed in a couple of days here, and hopefully he'll dig it.
Yeah, it turned out good. I like the color scheme in it, how the skin color is all kind of toned down a little bit, and then everything else kind of pops out around that.
Yeah, I was looking at, you know who Tyler Stout is?
No.
Tyler Stout does all these custom movie posters for this, I think it's a company called Mondo, but they're ridiculous. And like, I didn't want to just like bite his style, but it was definitely a big influence. It's something different. Like, I render stuff realistically all day long. I don't do a lot of flat color, so I figured since this is just for like a 7-year-old, if I screw it up, it's not going to be that big a deal. So I just tried it, and I think it turned out all right.
Yeah, I think it looks good.
Well, I appreciate it, guys.
I'm getting some stuff together over here in 1 sec.
The overlapping of the logo is nice too. It kind of, I like to see a lot of distance and depth in pieces when there's overlapping layers.
That's what I was going for. I was trying to, like, just kind of get some rhythm, and I get so caught up in the rendering and making everything look how I want it to look that I think sometimes I skip over like the design principles of everything, and how stuff flows on the page and the composition and just all that other little stuff. So I tried to take this as an opportunity, not only just to give a gift to a kid, but actually maybe try to like practice some stuff and learn something from it. I think we accomplished that somewhat. And it's
I
cool.
think it came together really well.
I'm digging it.
Yeah.
It's cool drawing Disney robots too. I mean, that's always fun.
So this is one that I just finished of Martin Luther King Jr. For today. Today is Martin Luther King Jr. Day. I've been in a massive art funk for the past like month or so. So this is the first thing that I've done in a while to try and snap myself out of it. And I'll comment more on that later. But what I did with here, I'm always trying to do new things. I don't want to get complacent and just redo the same type of portrait or the same type of painting repeatedly. So I wanted to do something with a little more color and have this kind of background color showing through the whole thing. So you can actually see it popping through in his flesh tones. You can see it in the tie and coming through and the whites and everything like that. One of the things I do, I have Pinterest, which I never really understood Pinterest. I don't know if we've spoken about this before, but I heard about some artists using it as like a personal archive for all kinds of different reference pictures or art from artists that they like. So I started using Pinterest maybe about 6 months ago, and now I have this huge archive of all kinds of different artists and photo reference and things that I like. So one of the things that I do occasionally is I'll go through my archives of different type of portraits or different types of paintings to look for inspiration, try out new styles. So I saw this. This is one that I've had for a long time. I found a long time ago. Let's see. This painting by a guy named David Cobley, who is a really, really talented oil painter. And I saw this a while ago, and I loved how he had this, this background red showing through and popping through, and the flesh tones and things like that. And I wanted to try something like that. Now, obviously, if I pull mine back up, I put a lot of more golden tones instead of, when you look at his, he's got the red, and then it stays relatively cool and has a lot of sort of the natural colors in it, in addition to the reds. Where I kind of pushed it to the next level with having the red show through, but a lot of yellows. I don't know if I'm getting too much into art speak here, but anyway, this is something new I tried, and I'm pretty happy with how it came out. And then some other things that I started a long time ago that I have not given up, but sort of gone away from. But actually, no, this is one this is a personal commission I did for a friend that I actually finished. Trying out some new things. I think it's okay. I don't really love the background so much, but I'm trying to figure some stuff out as I go along. Get out of here. This is one that I started a while ago that I left off that I'm probably going to pick up. Another thing that I struggle with, not necessarily struggle with, but I'm constantly trying to figure out is level of finish. How finished do I want to go with some of these pieces? So, for example, if I pull up this one here, this is pretty super tight.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah. I think I showed this one previously. I finished this maybe 2 months ago or so. And this one it's pretty heavy on the realism. The details are pretty tight. And then something like this one, it's a lot looser. I mean, obviously it's still tight in spots, but it's a lot looser, more, even with the colors, a little more impressionistic. And then this one is kind of in between, and I'm always trying to figure out how far do I want to push it. And I think that's something I need to decide early on, like going into it. Maybe do some thumbnails or things and kind of make a conscious decision how far do I want to push it? But I think there's also something to be said for kind of figuring it out as you go along. So basically, the point of that is I have no idea what I'm doing. Here's another one I started and then gave up on because I decided I hated it. Where I was going for some of the red stuff too, and I wanted to show some of the red through in the skin tones like I ended up doing with the MLK one, but I got away from it. This is Vladimir Klitschko. He's a boxer. I'm obsessed with boxing. So I think I'm probably going to ditch this one and start another one. I've been tossing around some ideas for a new one that I'm pretty excited about. So here's another one that I started working on a long time ago and got away from. And this is another one where I was trying to figure out how far to push it, where I ended up getting to this point where, it gets really sketchy, and I was starting to think about, maybe putting in pores or things like that, because in the reference it's got a lot of, like, visible pores on his forehead and stuff like that. And then I went back in and decided to smooth it out. I have no idea. I left this one a while ago. It's something I might come back to at some point, but, like I was talking about, like Aaron, you mentioned, I have just oodles of noodles on my cutting room floor.
Yeah.
Which is, that would be a fun conversation of itself. As far as client work, all this stuff has been personal. Client work, I finished some big project for a financial company, and since then it's been a little bit light with the holidays and doing teaching, but just kind of been in a funk. So, I'm trying to do some more of these personal pieces to try and spark something and sort of get inspired again.
Yeah.
Anyway.
It definitely comes and goes. You can't always force yourself to be creative.
Yeah.
You just gotta do it when it's the season. I think I will show some stuff.
Yeah, what are you
here.
up to? What have you been up to? You dashing son of a gun, you.
Okay, let's see. So I've been doing.
Awesome.
Yeah. So I've been kind of ramping up my YouTube channel and trying to post a video every day. Maybe it's not going to be like my video, but it might be someone else's that I think is something cool that's digital art related. But for the most part, I'm releasing pretty much a video every day, and a lot of them are my own stuff. So this is like one of the series. It's kind of like a Let's Paint thing where I'm picking specific topics, and in this case, it's kind of been like heroes and villains from Nintendo games.
That's awesome.
So I did like Metal Man, and then Frog from Chrono Trigger, and Samus from Metroid, and then now I'm on Krang. I'm going to try to put a little more effort into this one because this is obviously a work in progress. The ones I've done before were kind of just like line art and not very detailed, and I kind of got some flack more or less for that from just not really applying myself as much as I should. So I'm going to try to make this one pretty cool and pretty detailed. It looks a little odd because the way I paint, I kind of do as individual layers. So if we look at like the body's like a layer for the nostrils and for the nose.
I'm terrible with layers.
The shades. Well, I don't know. For me, it's like if I'm going to paint digitally, I want to paint efficiently. Like that's the point of painting on a computer. So you can't use layers with oil paint or acrylic paint in real life or any traditional medium because there's layers. You can add paint and remove paint and so on. But as far as
what's it called? Not vellum. Like the transparent sheets that they use for
acetate sheets.
Yeah,
you can do that. There's layers in like animation and things like that, but you can't with oil paint like just take a nose and move it around or stretch it out. So I figure why not use a lot of layers and then keep them nice and organized. And so eventually I will finish this up process for the whole thing from beginning to end. So it'll be available on YouTube later. That's kind of really what I've been doing, is just doing a lot of painting, but not really like making paintings for the sake of like selling them, but just to make paintings to show other people how to paint.
Yeah, I just thought of one other thing I forgot to share.
Yeah, let's check it out.
Because you're from Jersey, aren't you, Mike?
Yep.
Yeah, I painted your boy Chris Christie.
Oh, yes. No comment. I saw it. As far as a piece of artwork, I think it's wonderful. I'm not going to say anything else. Pull it up. Based on its artistic merit alone, I'd like to see it.
I like the play on like there's two butts and then his stomach kind of looks like a butt too. Like
Ugh,
it's like
I hate the Cowboys.
it's like sacred geometry there. It's
I
a
had
it's
to
a,
do it, man. It
it's
was
kind
too easy.
It's like a holy trinity of butt and belly butt.
yeah.
And then it's just fantastic.
Oh
It
man.
works so good.
So
Also,
what did you do as far as, I'm curious, as far as reference for the jacket on him? How did you go about doing that?
A lot of trickery. A lot of trickery and some help from some people.
I think I don't want to know.
Oh yeah, it gets deep, man. It's a lot of
Now,
magic.
what is that
involved in
piece
that.
behind it? Is that something we can look at?
Yeah, I forgot I've
awesome.
been doing these Snoop Dogg things. He has a store online that he's selling merchandise, and I'm one of the artists that is creating content for him.
That's friggin' awesome.
Yeah.
So I did that one. We did a Christmas themed one
Dude.
for the holidays.
Yeah. I like the glow on all the lights. Did you use Photoshop for that or Painter?
Yeah, Photoshop.
Nice. I didn't know there was a glow brush that would do that, or I don't know, maybe you had to
It's
do it by hand,
how did I do it? It's
like a screen.
FX stuff, like the effects you can put on the
Oh yeah,
like inner glow, outer glow.
that's it. You know, I always forget that because like I'll go in with the glow brush and Painter and like I just paint in each one of those, but then I'm like, oh yeah, that makes sense. You could just do the filter.
I'm
That
probably the
glow
least
brush is
efficient one here. I'd probably just manually paint it.
Yeah, you pick each color lighter and lighter
Yep.
and lighter.
And then I did, that was the last one I did.
That's cool. Kind of a
Forgot I
sketch,
did a couple of those.
it's like kind of coming out of a sketchbook. I like the way you use layers. It gives it a lot of depth.
Well, thank you. I'm
How
trying
you
to
go
make
about
it
getting
interesting
that,
because like these are going on T-shirts and stuff.
Right.
So.
And you go back in the grunge effect on the fringes,
Yeah.
and then the also the like the dripping paint.
And
Yeah,
I try to make it. You know, we had that kind of debate before, like traditional versus making it look traditional.
Right.
Yeah.
And like I always kind of like try to make it look traditional, even though it definitely isn't.
Mhm. It's part of the challenge. I think it's fun.
Yeah, I mean, I like it because I mean, me personally, I would paint traditionally if it went a little bit faster and wasn't so convenient for when I mess things up completely. Then you know what I mean? I can fix them so much easier, and you know what I mean? Like if I could do all those things just as fast traditionally, I would paint traditionally, but I can't
Yeah.
do that. So I stick with the computer.
That looks great.